Hey. Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's Jamie here. I don't know why I'm waving that around in your faces. You don't need a bit of card waved in your faces, do you? It's Jamie here, and welcome to Travel Blog Jamie and this, our Monday Night Live. I'm back, babies, and I hope you are all well. Have you missed me? Probably not. I've missed you though. It's been a few weeks since our usual slot of a Monday Night Live. I have been on my travels, but anyway, you are very warmly, bear huggily welcome to this, our live, your live, where we'll spend a cheeky 1 hour or so together chewing the cruise and travel fat. I'll be talking a little bit about my most recent cruise to northern Norway in search of the Northern Lights. Spoiler alert, just so you're aware. Big spoiler alert. Plus, my first ever group cruise and exactly how that unfolded. Plus, sailing through hurricane force winds, force 12, and high seas for the first time ever in over 90 cruises I've taken. So just how did Fred Olsen Borealis manage those kind of conditions, and how did I manage, and how did my group manage? What about everyone else on board? We will talk a little bit about that as well. I've got a question for you, of course I have. Then a little bit later, your questions for me, please hold fire on those, as I won't see them just yet. I will give you the shout, the go ahead for it. Oh, talking about shouts, your shout outs a little bit later as well. So we have got a lot to cover. The first thing I'm asking though is, where are you gorgeous lot calling in from? Not your actual addresses, you understand. Got to make that very clear. But, you know, a city, a country, I don't mind. Where are you indeed calling in from? I am at home in Basingstoke, Amazingstoke, the land of dreams, Hampshire, or Hampshire, depending on where you're from in the UK. And here you come with those comments. Excuse me. First up, we've got Lincolnshire, we've got Yeovil, Somerset, Bonnybridge, Central Scotland. Bonnybridge, that's a cool name, isn't it? Oh my god, they're like flying, I can't keep up. I'm really sorry, I've just missed the last few. We've got Prestatyn, Wiltshire, Eastleigh. Oh, Eastleigh, not too far from me, actually. Devon, another Devon. Barbados, where's Barbados? Fiona, I don't even know where that is. Cardiff, Midlothian, Wicklow, Ireland, UK, but about to head to Miami for a 2-week Star Princess. You might know I'm a big fan. I absolutely loved my Star Princess cruise more recently. Otherwise, 30 minutes from Farnborough, Sheffield, Castleford, Romsey, and it's smelly old Southampton. I didn't say that, by the way, someone else did. Devon, Detroit, southwestern France, County Durham, Northumberland, Hampshire, and Newton Abbot, to Marine Crescent, Great Yarmouth. Very, very concise indeed. Southbourne, Derby, oh my goodness me, everywhere. Doncaster calling in, it's like something out of Eurovision Song Contest, isn't it, my loves? Well, thank you for sharing that. Plenty of you calling in from all over this fabulous planet of ours. I've just seen West Texas. Don't forget to keep hold of those questions for now, please. I won't be able to answer them just now. And I always do this, a little check-in to see how everybody is feeling, where you are going to simply write a number 1 to 10, 1 being you need an immediate check-in. We have an awesome community here, so people will, of course, look out for you, all the way up to a 10. 10 being you're happy to strip off, a 5-minute walk from your cruise ship in Narvik, and in minus 12 degrees Celsius temperatures doing a polar plunge like I did. That's a good 10. That's a good number. It could be 11. I'd say I'm around, I'd say an 8, a rather perky 8. Oh gosh, you are a mixed bunch tonight. Is that because it's Blue Monday or something? What a mixture, eh? I did an assembly about the colour blue once and had to talk about Blue Monday. It was quite interesting. Oh, we've got people with flu. I'm sorry, getting better. Not in a storm anymore, says Tony. I kind of miss being in that storm though, Tony. I do. Oh, an 8 for Blue Monday. Absolutely. Oh, 3 from the States. Life in the States these days. I'm sorry, you're a 3. We've got 10s. As I said, I'm an 8. Quite perky. I've been very busy since getting back from the cruise. But today I gave myself about 4 hours off. I did. And I went to the cinema. I haven't been to cinema for ages. I went to see the latest Avatar film, Fire and Ash. Although not a great deal of fire and ash in it for a film called Fire and Ash. However, 3 hours and 17 minutes, and I just wanted to be placed in a darkened room, left alone, nobody around me, reclining chair, watching some, I don't mean this in a bad way, mindless action kind of film. And it was perfect for me, actually. It was exactly what I needed this afternoon. So that was quite good fun. So it looks like we're a bit of a mix. I am going to try my best to make sure you are all in good spirits by the time you leave. Right. Before I tell you a little bit about the last cruise, and I've got a question for you, please don't forget, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're on it right now, folks. If you're commenting, it means you can do a thumbs up, first of all. We've only got a paltry 36 thumbs up. And it also means you can subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And we are now on our path to 50,000 subscribers. And I always use 1,000 as a benchmark, but honestly the 50,000 mark is really where I want to head to. So if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you're here and you haven't done that yet. And don't forget as well, I'm on Instagram at travelblogJamie. I tend to post quite maybe ruder things there, a little bit of language. Make sure you're 18 or above. A few reels now and then. I think the reels are quite cool, actually, the ones I've been posting. And also any of my monthly giveaways. I've got giveaways coming soon. You'll never believe it. Look, Fred Olsen slippers, lanyard, badges, cruise logs. Oh, pocket map, pens and pencils. Oh, look at that. Lovely notebook, signed postcards, all me daily times, etc, etc. So yeah, head on over to Instagram, Facebook as well, Jamie W Robbins, and I'm so thrilled with all the engagement on Facebook at the moment, so thank you so much for your kindness there. I hope you're enjoying the thousands and thousands of pictures I post every single week. It's quite a lot, actually. And a few reels there as well. Don't forget, I'm on Patreon. If you'd like to become a member, it's patreon.com/travelblogJamie for your personalized video messages, cameo.com/travelblogJamie. That's not over the top. What are you talking about? And of course, Facebook, I should have mentioned, it's got all the information about my group cruises pinned to the top. I get lots of questions about them, but all the information is at the top. It's pinned right there at the top. You just need to click on it. It goes at the top. Mr. Remy did want to say hi to you, by the way. I nearly forgot that. Right, let's talk a little bit about the most recent cruise, my first cruise of 2026 on board Fred Olsen Borealis, #invite, #ad, but also my first ever group cruise, where 60 unsuspecting adults, more or less, put their trust and faith in me to lead them through the high seas and hurricane winds to Norway. And I have to say, it completely exceeded my expectations. I am very critical of myself in everything I do, and I always have been. If anyone out there knows me, they will know that to be the case. I like things to go exactly as planned. You can't help certain things like the weather, for example. But otherwise, I have to say, I'm really pleased with how it went. The Fred Olsen team, the events team, were so great in helping organize this. Every day we had different events. We had rotational dining where I joined guests specialty dining together, which was great fun. We did the martini experience together. I did a sort of walk-in guided tour in Olsen, which led us to the highest rated coffee shop in Olsen on TripAdvisor, which is called Raccoon. And we had the whole upstairs section. We took over and it was great. And then walking up Mount Axler for the bravest. People have been asking, was it really icy? Was it treacherous? A little bit. You could see the ice though on the path. It was black ice, so you were able to actually walk around almost all of it. And myself and some of the other members, we led the way and slipped and slided a little bit to make sure people behind knew which path to take. I'm pleased to say everyone got to the top, in my group at least, and back down again. I would say the person who struggled most, it was one of the youngest people in the group, Alfie, who needed escorting at various times. The eldest member of the group, coming up to 80, didn't need any help at all. Can I say I'm very proud of them all, actually. For some of them, it was like it was a big thing to get to the top, and I didn't think they were all going to make it. I thought halfway is enough. Great views already, but no, they made it up and back again. We had the most beautiful lighting in Olsen, with more daylight hours there than when we travelled to Narvik further north. Clear skies, candy floss skies. It was so still. It was cold. Yes, it reached minus 10 degrees Celsius in Olsen that day. Anybody who was on the Fjords boat trip with me will know that it actually reached minus, I think it was 18 degrees Celsius with the wind chill. Now, you know, I've never owned a coat before, or in the last couple of decades. Up until this trip, I bought a proper thermal one. I wore long johns, never worn those before. Don't they make your legs look tiny, like little chicken legs or something when you put them on? I filmed it for you, don't worry. Not the other bits and bobs and sods, nicking that broken bread, not those bits, no. Just the legs, okay? I was ready for it, I really was. And I feel like all this warm clothing actually worked brilliantly in those very cold temperatures. However, with a wind chill, if you've got even your little pinkies out, my darlings, they literally freeze. When we were on the Fjords boat trip from Olsen, we actually sailed through some like freezing fog, and wow, I was like, take my glove off to take some video footage and pictures. Oh my goodness, literally a minute out in that, started hurting. I'm like, I've got to go back in, I've got to put my glove on. So you do have to be careful when it's really cold in the with a wind chill. But it was spectacular in Olsen. Never visited before in January, only ever been there summer and autumn. Always beautiful, but my goodness, the most stunning time I've ever seen it. With snow in the mountains surrounding it. It was just beautiful. And having started editing the vlogs, I can tell you it just looks stunning from start to finish. It made me a little bit emotional editing some of the footage, I've got to say. We also went to Narvik, which was our most northerly port in Norway. Again, clear skies. The sun only came up for, I think it was about an hour and 40 minutes though, that time of year, although there's almost like a glow in the morning even before the sun comes up. It was stunning, absolutely beautiful, really. I started the day off with some of my group members, and we booked ourselves a slot in the Arctic sauna, which is no more than a 5-minute walk from the ship. Easy walk. And you walk down a ramp and it's basically floating, it's on the ocean. So we had that to ourselves, about £18 per person for an hour. There's not really a changing room. There's a separate area with shelves where you can leave all of your bits and bobs, odds and sods, I won't do that again. And there's a shower, no door. And then there's a door into the sauna itself. But I think people were very respectful of one another. I mean, we all had our trunks on, our bikinis on, whatever, anyway, under our clothes. So it worked out fine. And, you know, just like mindful of each other and each other's space. The great thing about the Arctic sauna is you can go outside around the outside of the sauna, covered in snow. You do need to wear boots for that. I had some couple, 2 meat sandwiches online saying, oh, look at him, he's chuffing, he's a chuffing lightweight, they said. Who says chuffing anymore? Chuffing lightweight. Because the wife had bought husband what I referred to as an inflatable condom and filled it with water and ice cubes, and they sat out in their garden in it, and it was like they thought they were hard as nails or something, you know. They're like, look at him, look, he's got a hat on and he's in a sauna. It's like, well, you can't walk around barefoot in those conditions. You can't walk on the snow and black ice and then get in the water, come out and keep walking. You'll lose your feet. You'll end up in A&E, for goodness sake. What pair of meat sandwiches. I mean, there was him sat in a bloody inflatable condom with water and some ice cubes in it. Get a life, mate. Jog on, mate. So in the middle of... oh gosh, just say what you think, Jamie. In the middle of this sauna, there's a trap door, my loves, a trap door. It's see-through, and there's a ladder with a rope, and you can climb straight into the ocean, which is perfect because you could not, as I say, walk around on the snow and the ice and jump in the sea and back. You'd have to have something very special on your feet. I didn't have that, just have big boots on, you know. And I put my hand in the ocean and I thought, there's no way I'm not getting in that. It's absolutely freezing. And then one of my group members, Elizabeth, bless her, from Texas, hi, just handed me her phone. Can you film? I'm going to get in. I'm like, okay. Down that ladder she went. In she went. She stayed in for about 10 seconds. Out she came, nearly fell back in. Or like, oh my goodness, Elizabeth, please be careful. Please be careful, my love. And I thought, okay, I'm doing it. By that time, I was sweating my heebie-jeebies off in the sauna. One of the group members, bless them, you know, you put water over the hot coals, don't you? Just a little bit, and there's literally a shower hose, a shower head above it. They pulled it was with water. Oh my God, how hot. So I climbed down that ladder into the ocean. It was freezing. And then I realized I've got to do it twice because I need it portrait and landscape for social media. Elizabeth did it again as well. I think we were addicted. It was so invigorating. It didn't feel painful. Didn't really have time enough to think. You know, I faff around on the side of pools, don't I? With my legs dangling. Are you like that? Even if it's kind of warm, I'm like, oh. This one you just have to get straight in. And I would have loved to have actually gone proper swimming, but I have to say it was freezing. So it's like in the water, oh, get a picture, get some video footage, out I get. I just loved it. Then back on board to the thermal suite, and the thermal suite on Fred Olsen Borealis is a delight. It's a large area. You get it for yourself or whoever you're sharing a cabin with, if you want them with you. I think I paid £15 as a solo for the hour, all to myself. Beautiful. Then I went on a nighttime trip on the Arctic train from Narvik to a middle of the nowhere area called Cataract. About 35 minutes on this beautiful old Arctic train with lights running through the carriages. You can get yourself some coffee and tea on board. It was just so cozy and lovely. And the good news is when we got to Cataract and we disembarked the train, sort of like dark pathway in the snow to what we call camp or base with a big tent, fires, hot drinks. You could roast your own sausage, my love. Imagine. And we were blessed because the Northern Lights appeared the minute we got off that train. They weren't very strong to begin with. You could just make them out by the naked eye through your phone lens. They were clearer. But as the evening progressed, they got stronger and stronger, and you could see them via the naked eye. And my goodness me, 2 hours of the lights dancing, and then we were like literally dragged away, like, we're really sorry, but we've got to take you back now to the train and back to the port of Narvik. They were just dancing the whole time, and it was a beautiful sight, but I loved seeing some of my group members and their reactions the first time seeing the Northern Lights. It was magical, as I've described it online. I've got, I think, some awesome pictures and video footage as well. So what a magical time in Narvik. Back to the ship Borealis. Things that my group consistently said to me. Bearing in mind, most of them had not sailed Fred Olsen ever before. They had sailed other UK cruise lines, and I won't mention which. Here's the lowdown from people. The crew of the best they have sailed with. That was also the feedback from some of our American friends as well who were cruising with us. And I concur, the crew were absolutely phenomenal. The fact they remember your names within a day, even cabin numbers for when you're purchasing drinks, they remember so much, so quickly, your favorite drinks, like within a day or two. But they were going above and beyond for passengers, and that's exactly what group members felt. The ship's looking good after the refit. The aft section looks so much better now. They've made changes to that. The food was very good. You may be aware, if you're familiar with Colours and Tastes, it's the specialty dining venue on board Fred Olsen, which has always been exceptional and exceptional value. They now rotate menus. They've incorporated an Italian menu, and it was, and I went twice with 30 of the group, it was incredible food. If you're in doubt, just go, just enjoy it. Every single plate of food everyone had, and because I'm nosy, I go around and check in, just awesome. And also they do still have an Asian menu. And if you check the Fred Olsen frequently asked questions area, it tells you which menu is on which night on their ships over the next year and a half. Okay, just in case you're wondering. They have changed the Asian menu just ever so slightly. They've enhanced it. They've got the best dishes on the menu, but they've got some new ones. Like there was this beautiful paneer curry, and I was hoping to see some curries on the new menu, as were some what have I done to my chin? Nothing. It's just lighting. I've done nothing to my chin. Don't worry. I think that's bad lighting. There's nothing wrong with it, I promise. But thanks very much anyway. So food, great. Sailing through storms and force 12 winds, hurricane force winds, is not something we imagined would happen. And I've done over 90 cruises. I have never experienced anything like that. The first thing to say is the crew were amazing. I think they had a lot of work on their hands to make sure they sailed us safely, but also looking after passengers and reassuring them. It was good to see so many senior officers out and about as well. But I have never experienced anything like that. Borealis handled it beautifully. We had a lot of rolling, a bit of pitching. We had waves going over the top of us, and it was awe-inspiring. I am absolutely shocked as to how many people were out and about, actually. I thought they were all going to be in their cabins, like holding on to something. I mean, there were 23 of my group were in the coffee shop when I said, look, I'm going to be out and about. I'll be there if you need me. And it was kind of a giggle in a way. Everyone was making the most of the situation. We had also missed our port of call into Stavanger, which is a real shame, obviously, in those kind of conditions. But the ship handled it so well. So we had about 4 hours of hurricane force winds. And I don't get great footage of a storm because always the way I'm normally sailing through storms at night, so you can't actually see anything. Not this time. It was daylight and it was mesmerizing. Some of the group was sat up at the windows on deck 5 at the coffee shop. They were just looking. There was lots of woo and whiz, and most people that I spoke with felt safe enough. There were some newer cruisers there, imagine being your first or second cruise ever, who were a little bit scared. But yeah, everyone came through it. It was fascinating. And my friend Stephen Payne, I asked him for a little quote because he actually had something to do with designing the original ship when it was Holland America. I've forgotten the name of it. Maybe someone can remind me. Something the Fifth. And he was telling me why a ship like that handles stormy seas, large waves, swells so well. So I'm going to add that to the vlog. So you know what the best thing was though, before we move on? The best thing was watching this large group of people form bonds, relationships, friendships over the course of the 10 nights. To the extent that on the last day there were many tears. And I mean, I'm delighted that 15 of the group, whilst we were still on board, booked onto the next group cruise. They loved it so much, and I can't wait to see them all, and some of you who are coming for the first time. So yeah, it was emotional at the end. I had a blast looking after people, setting up events, hosting some events, and just watching everyone enjoy themselves. I think they took over the observatory lounge, but that was a great thing. The band and the live music, anyone playing live music up there, the Ents team loved playing to them all because they were up dancing, enjoying themselves, drinking a fair amount, some of them. Just loved it. So there you go. That was my experience. I hope you are enjoying the pictures. I posted 300 odd today of the whole experience. The vlogs begin Tuesday with a trailer of what's coming, followed by the cabin tour, the full experiential vlogs starting at the weekend as well. I hope you enjoy them. It's actually a real privilege putting them together. It's great reliving those moments. So before we move on, I have a question for you, and I will be having a look at your comments now. I wondered, what's the worst conditions, weather conditions, you've ever experienced traveling? It doesn't have to be a cruise, it can be any traveling. It could even be at home, anything that takes your fancy. What has been your worst weather experience at home or when traveling or cruising? That was, when I say the worst, for me, it was also equally exciting as well, and very well handled by the ship. So, oh yes, there was a Pringles sing-along on the last night. I was escorted out of the observatory. It was very suspicious. Young Emma, bless her, she's not a good liar. She's not. She wanted to talk to me urgently about something outside, and I thought, it's not like Emma at all. What's going on? Anyway, I went back in with Emma, and the whole group had Pringles and was singing a song. I'm sure the rest of the passengers and crew loved it. It's filmed, okay, so you'll get to see that. But it was a beautiful moment. It really was. Tony said the worst weather at sea would be last week on Borealis, but loved every second. What's those huge waves and rough seas? My first thought was Jamie's getting his own back on being bullied into his first group cruise. Yeah, like my group were like, you're liking this, aren't you? I'm like, Someone actually took a picture of me up in the observatory when I was kind of hanging over the edge, not really, but you know, as close to the window as you can get with the water coming up, and they were giggling, taking pictures like, oh my god, you love this. I'm like, I really do. Fascinating. Nicola went to Poland in February, minus 20 degrees Celsius, but actually felt good as it wasn't like our wet winters. It was frosty and snowy. Yeah, I know. Like when I came back to England, it was like 2 degrees when I got back, and I felt cold. I'm like, how can I feel cold? I've just been in like minus 18. Why does this feel cold? Very interesting. No apologies for being late. Force 9, swells 5 to 6 meters in June. Piano Aurora missed 3 ports on a 12-night to Norway. Sorry to hear that. Mr. Negative, very high winds leaving Olsen heading to Olsen. Quite exciting, absolutely. Ahoy cruises and planes. Did I say that right? There's a lot of letters there, yeah. Ventura a few years ago, Southampton to Vigo, had to lie in bed for 2 days if I got up. I gotta say, those flat bottom girls aren't so good in rough seas, in my humble opinion, now that I've experienced more ocean faring ships in rough weathers. Poetry Cafe. Taylor Swift has her Swifties. Does that make you make us your Robins? Oh, I don't know. Some people say they're my Pop Tarts because I pop up everywhere. But I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? Is there something people say sometimes? I've heard people say the TBJ community. I don't know. Maybe someone knows. Someone help me. Help me, help me, help me. Melissa Leaper, 80-mile-an-hour wind in Iceland. Oh, what a place to have wind like that as well. Debbie, the aircraft I was traveling in from Florida got struck by lightning. The plane dropped and a lot of people screamed. I would be screaming as well if I were on that flight. Absolutely. Happy birthday to Claire. Tony Romain says, I suspect a modern cruise ship would not have left Narvik. I thought the same, actually. I think they would be harbouring if they had space there. I absolutely think that. Right, as you continue dropping your comments about worst weather, next trips, and then I'm going to hand over to you for your any questions you might have. So next trip is incoming already. I've actually been home for what, 5-6 days already. I don't tend to operate in real time on face ache. On Patreon I do. So my next trip starts next Wednesday, and I will be heading to Orlando, staying at Universal, one of the newer resorts near to Epic Universe. I've got 4 nights where I am going to be riding those puppies, otherwise known as roller coasters, and filming for you the newer resorts that opened in the last year or so. Then boarding NCL Prima for the first time, not in Orlando, obviously, on the coast. Port Canaveral, is it? I think so. Port Canaveral. Heading to the Bahamas, Caribbean, and Central America. So looking forward to being back on NCL, but also trying a brand new ship. And I've not actually sailed that model of ship before, so looking forward to it. When I get back from that, that's a week's cruise. Get back from that, and not too far after, Matthew and I are off on our Valentine's cruise. Matthew's first time sailing Fred Olsen, Balmoral, heading to where are we going? Rouen, and oh gosh, I'm sure it's somewhere in the Netherlands. Does anybody remember where I'm sailing? You can do sewer tours there. Where is it? Antwerp. Bloody twerp. We have overnights in both of those ports. It's a 5-night cruise. I'm looking forward to it, and Matthew experiencing Balmoral for the first time. I've also booked a few extra experiences. Thank you, Antwerp. It's Antwerp. I've booked onto MSC Meraviglia at the start of its UK season next year. I don't remember what month that is. It's probably around May, something like that. Heading to the Norwegian fjords, a kind of classic Norwegian fjords cruise, but also never been on Meraviglia. So looking forward to that, and it's maiden season from the UK. Matthew and I have been invited to sail on Viva Enjoy, Viva River Cruising from Amsterdam at the end of March. #ad, #invite. We've been invited. Of course we're going to say yes. We've never actually experienced Viva. We don't know a huge amount about them. So I'm looking forward to experiencing something very different and bringing that to you. And also, Matthew and I have been invited to join the Fleet Fiesta, the Fleet Meet with Fred Olsen in November. We'll be flying to Gibraltar, spending the night there, then transfer to Cadiz, where we'll join Boletta. And we've got multiple ports, including Northern Africa, down to the Canaries. And when we were at Gran Canaria, Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, all 3 Fred Olsen ships will be meeting there, and guests will have the opportunity to go on each ship, which I think is such an amazing idea. There's going to be a huge party when we depart Gran Canaria as well. So those are a few things that are have just recently been organised, but there's a lot more coming up as well, including March and my first ever time to Singapore. I've got some awesome plans that I can't wait to share with you. Thank you for those of you reminding me where I'm going. on the Fred Olsen cruise for Valentine's. Yeah, my mind's just not with it anymore. I'm losing track of time. I need a PA. Right. Enough yada from me. I am ready for you. I'm ready for your questions. I'm ready for your shout outs. Please, can I ask that you use capital letters? It just stands out a little bit more for me on the script in front of me. I apologize in advance if I don't get to all your questions. Sometimes you ask more than 600 questions and things scroll very quickly. I miss things. I promise you, I do not do that on purpose. If I miss you, I'm sorry. I mean, you'll know this. I even read out snarky questions, just so I can put people in their place, really. So I'm ready for you. And if you'd like a shout out, no problem at all. Right, let's have a look. Okay, we've got people sneaking around. Should be working. Awesome. In light of tensions between Scandinavia and the USA, can you see any problems with cruising in the region? Could Norway refuse? Yeah, it's all possible, isn't it? But I can't second guess anything like that. I can, the best I can do is nearer the time, if something escalates, not go. But as it stands, everything is possible in life, isn't it? Things are so unexpected, and I tend not to live like that. If things change, so be it. You know, I can't do anything about that. Lydia, I'm going on my first ever cruise solo as well at the end of March on Pinot Aurora. I'm so excited. I've been watching all your videos. I can't wait to see the Northern Lights. I hope you do, because my goodness, what a sight to behold. Just be prepared to have a pile of very warm clothes that you could throw on at any time. The minute you've got clear or clearing skies, you need to be out and about with as little light pollution as possible. So, but be prepared for late nights as well. There are times when they appeared at around 1 a.m. on our cruise. Brenda, question, any plans for Disney Adventure World at Paris? I looked into it. Disneyland Paris costs a fortune. It's, I think, horrendously priced. I can go and stay in Orlando and go to Disney there for a week, 2 weeks, for the price it would cost me to go to Disneyland Paris and stay in the cheapest hotel for 3 or 4 nights. So I would like to go. I need to find much cheaper rates. I'm not really, I know this will come as a surprise to some of you. I don't like spending lots of money on my trips. I like to be as frugal as possible and get the best deals I can find. So far for Disneyland Paris, the deals are non-existent. I would not pay what is coming out at £1,600 for me for 3 nights. No, thank you. That's around sort of April, May time. I know that will be busier because of the opening of Adventure World, but I'm not that desperate to go. One day though, I do have vlogs from Disneyland Paris from a few years ago, by the way. It snowed. It was beautiful. Okay, Sandra will be joining us on Prima, flying from Manchester on the Thursday. First time in Norwegian too. We'll say hello if I see you. Please do, that would be lovely. I hope you have a great time as well. Linda, Jamie, you'll be happy to know I have now purchased a waterproof phone case, so ready for my next water adventure. That is good news. I get asked a lot, actually, how I take my underwater footage. If you saw my footage in Central America when I was snorkeling, it actually, I will be honest with you, came out really well. And people thought I was using some sort of professional equipment. Hello, it's me. No, I don't spend money on equipment either. I've still got my iPhone 15. No, not a Pro. I do everything on that. People who have sailed with me now know I don't even use selfie sticks, just the arm. I've got a little mic though, which cost it's about £100 from Amazon, little mic. And you put a transmitter into your phone. It's the easiest way of doing it, so that works well. But yeah, I purchased my waterproof case from Amazon. It's like £10, and you've got to make sure the screen, the bag itself is clear. Sometimes it can steam up a little bit, so make sure it's nice and clear. But otherwise, it worked brilliantly. It really did. I'm glad you've got it. Use it wisely and get some great underwater footage. Ahoy cruises and planes are going on Iona on Valentine's Day. Enjoy it. I presume that is a classic Northern European cruise. Is that right? Maybe. Diane, how do you go about getting solo prices? Struggling to find deals where my solo sister-in-law can afford to come with us. So I will keep this as brief as I can because I've definitely said it often to people. I don't want anyone to disappear. Wait there if you've heard this before. I use Igloo and I filter by price and for solo passenger. That's how I do it. There are some cruise lines like Fred Olsen who offer 0 supplements on for solo passengers in the first 4 weeks of launching a cruise, and I was all over that. I did a whole live about it. It was all over my Facebook page, like, get your solo fares now on Fred Olsen. So, you know, there are times like that you need to be cognizant. However, when people say it's always at least double, that's not actually true. It really isn't always double. I'll give you an example. The Princess cruise I took more recently, Star Princess, Central America, my fare was only £700 for an entire week on a brand new ship sailing Central America. Again, it's just about looking and filtering by price. Some people have said you're actually spending more money, Jamie, because you're flying to other countries to take these cruises, and they would be wrong. Absolutely. I have found cruising from other countries to be far cheaper, as a solo that is, than cruising out of the UK generally. And I mean, the flight return, like all my flights to America over the last year have been no more than £400 return. I have included the flights, accommodation, the cruise, plus any hotels I've booked the night before or night after, and they've still come in at generally hundreds less than doing the same amount of time out of the UK. UK cruise prices, I feel, are escalating. They're getting higher, and that concerns me hugely. So just be aware. My deals aren't necessarily deals. It's filtering, it's having flexibility of time to think, okay, there's a great deal there in November, I'm going to book that one for my November trip. So that's how I do things on the whole. I know I've been gifted some cruises as well, which helps, but 90% of what I do is booked myself and paid for myself. I don't know if that will help at all. Right, let's not miss anybody's. Have you been practicing the cha-cha-cha with your snake hips? No, my darling, I haven't, but I bloody loved the lesson I had on Fred Olsen. I can't wait to share that with people as well. I loved it. When we're on Fred Olsen next, we are going to go to those. I want to go to those classes. I want you to teach me from the outset. I loved it. I really did. How do you handle less daylight, asks Annie, more daylight hours on Norwegian cruises? There was no handling necessary, actually. It was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Just be aware, like I booked my Arctic sauna slot when I knew the sun was going to be up or we're going to have daylight hours. There are certain trips you might want to book when you know there are daylight hours. Just go on, just do a search on Google for daylight hours in the place you're heading to, and it will tell you exactly what you need to know. But honestly, it didn't feel like needed to adapt at all. If I was staying somewhere like that for a week, 2 weeks longer, then I think you would certainly want lots of lighting. I know that in those cities, they have lights everywhere. It looks stunning. You'd think it was Christmas constantly. I know the locals have said to me it can be quite difficult, so they make everything as light and bright as they possibly can. But on a short cruise like that, absolutely no issue at all. And it's only when you're really far north that you'll have less daylight. Okay, Carol. Disneyland Paris used to be pretty basic, much for the Americans, the Americas. Bucket list Disneyland in I've been to Disneyland Hong Kong a number of years ago. I did a vlog on it, well, sort of a vlog. Before I used to talk to the screen, it was like point and like just say, oh, look at that. That was about it, and a few labels and music. I really want to go back. And Japan, absolutely, Tokyo Disney looks incredible. Lydia, personally, for a solid price, I just had to accept that I'll have to pay 200%. That's not the case. That's not the case. I did ask around and nobody wanted to or was able to go with me. Okay, I don't pay that kind of supplement, I have to be honest with you. Maybe I've got the luxury, more flexibility of time than you, but I don't pay that. Ahoy Cruises and Planes, Hamburg, Rotterdam and Bruges. I thought it might be. That's your classic Northern European cruise on Iona. Jason, hello, a little late to the live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But it's rude to be early, or so I'm told. I never said that. You're late. I don't like those 360 footage on some vlogs. So Jamie stays you are equipment wise. I don't like them. I think they look fake. I'll say it now. And that's not me being rude to any other vloggers out there who use it. I just think it's not actually what you're looking at. It's all sort of fish lensy, and I think it would look out of place in my vlogs if I just suddenly inserted a 30-second clip like that. So it works for some people and that's awesome. I know some of you love them. I just don't think it's what I'm looking at, so therefore I don't really want to use it. But each to their own, as they say. You know, when people say each to their own, is that people's way of saying I just don't like it or agree with it as well? Probably. Gosh. Okay. Donna, after seeing you use your waterproof camera case, I purchased one and used it in the Caribbean. My husband used a very expensive underwater camera and I believe my pics were better. I'm just saying, there's a few things about very expensive camera equipment. You've got to know how to use it to get better shots than people who have got an iPhone and know how to use it. I've seen so many people walking around with these massive cameras and they're like, oh my gosh, they're taking forever getting the best picture. I've seen their pictures and they're not always very good. I always think it's about, it's not the size, is it, that matters, it's how you use it. Apparently. I'm sure that's the truth. There's a place for expensive equipment, of course there is, in the hands of the correct people. I'm not one of those people. Okay, Lisa, loved your Star Princess vlog. Thank you very much. We've now booked for early 2027 following your vlog. Same itinerary. You're welcome. I did actually see that same itinerary repeating on Star Princess, and likewise saw some great deals. And I'm thinking I can't go back on the same thing with the same itinerary that soon, but the price was great as a solo, and I thought, oh, it's tempting, but no, I'm trying out some different things first of all. Hi Daniel, nice to see you. Jill, I will. We will cha-cha again on the next one. Thank you, Jill. Jill, by the way, is a great dancer, and it's such a sad thing that it was the last day of the group cruise. Jill whisked me onto that dance floor. She did. She literally threw me over her shoulder like a sack of potatoes. Sorry. I don't know why I say these things. She carefully placed me onto the dance floor. She said, Jamie, I'm going to teach you some dancing, and hopefully you will concur. It was a few steps, and I said, Jill, is this the Rumba? And she went, what a saucy little minx, starting off a Rumba with me. And I loved it. I loved it. And I said to her then, she was far too kind, saying I've got some musicality or something like that, far too generous. But I said, can we do this at the very start of the group cruise next time? And actually, Jill, if you're still here, I was wondering if I could like slot in an actual dance class for the group with you and your hubby. Would that be all right? I'd love to do that. Yeah, so please teach me to dance the next time. I felt safe in Jill's hands. Absolutely. Ian, I think the 360 videos seem artificial and not worth watching. Well, I don't actually watch them, if I'm honest with you. I've seen some clips before. Like when they are isolated like a reel or something, I can see why that works, but I don't think placing them into an ordinary vlog is necessarily I don't think it flows very well. Each to their own, Tony. British sarcasm at its most subtle. I wondered. I did wonder. Please do keep the thumbs up coming. You're doing a good job tonight, a lot. 115 of them. But also, please keep your questions coming and any shout outs that you may have. Petra, found out at my Pilates, woman going on Balmoral in March to Tromsø. Oh, God, I love Tromsø. Told her about Fred, ports and pics. She's uber excited. I'm envious. Yeah, me too. Tromsø is one of my favorite Norwegian towns to visit. I think Olsen is up there. I love Olden as well. Geiranger, that whole area. I think there's less to do there, but it's stunning. Gosh, there's so many. Oh, Bergen, don't forget Bergen. Flam. Where to start, where to end, eh? Alta was interesting, not the prettiest of places, although I love the cathedral. The Northern Lights Cathedral is just stunning, but Alta being a great base from which you can explore. Anywho, today I was ordered to book a break, said Steph. Oh, that was me who ordered Steph to book a break. So I have. Oh, come on, tell us where. I had a video call with our young Steph, and I got a bit bossy at the end. It's not like me at all. But, you know, I feel like Steph needs to get out there on a little trip, even if it's just a couple days. And she agreed. So I'm like, well, why are you waiting? Go and sort it out. And she said, oh, partner's got an annual leave. And like, well, ask for it. Oh, he has. Good. Do it. Go, 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 go. So I was very bossy, but I had best intentions for our young Steph. I want to know where you're going. Are you allowed to actually say where? Are you allowed to tell us? Jill says yes, capital letters. I think yes, meaning she will lead a group dance session. Can we do the rumba? And also, she did throw in a bit of cha-cha-cha for me, which I think I was able to just about manage. What was it I couldn't do, Jill? I wasn't very good at... Was it the waltz? Jill taught me some of the steps for the rumba, cha-cha-cha, and then the waltz, all in about 5 minutes. I wasn't so good at the waltz, was I? I think that was the one. I need to work on that. Yeah, the waltz. I'll work on it. I promise you. Maybe I'll do some lessons at home in advance. Josh and Alfie can't wait to try the new port on the group cruise in 2027. But which ports? I don't think you've told me. Which one? Is it the Norwegian cruise or the Southern Spain Solar Eclipse cruise? Which one is it? Ian, we would love to do Tromsø, Flom, Trondheim as well. God, I forgot. I love Trondheim. And some of the more northern towns in Norway. Yeah. I just think everywhere in Norway I go just lifts me. It lifts my spirits. It fills me with love and joy, and it's bloody handsome. It really is. Tony, only Norwegian port I don't like is Haugesund. Oh, it's the only Norwegian port I haven't been able to get into. I've been to Stavanger before. I know it was cancelled recently, but I've been there before a few times. Haugesund, I understand you need to do a little bit of walking, a bit of exploring to get to some of the nicer spots. And Tony says even that's not really so bad. I've heard similar from... Has anybody out there actually been to Haugesund and enjoyed it? What did you do? Or did you take a trip or excursion from Haugesund? Where did you go? I would love to know. Josh and I say Norway. Have you actually booked that? I had the list through on Friday, and I definitely don't remember seeing your names unless you've booked it since or you're going to book it. I keep an eye on these things. I'm always checking people's names, you know, like nosy like that. Who's on this trip now? Let me know. I think I'm doing ever so well at keeping up with questions and comments. Oh, hang on, we've got another one. We liked it, just did a lot of walking. Oh, Haugesund. Yeah, I think you've got to do a lot. We are going to... Oh, you're going to. So you're going to book the Norway one. That's fabulous news. We're going to see some different places in Norway in the summertime. That will be exciting. Is it the 11th of July we're going next year? I think it's the 11th of July. The solar eclipse one, I want to say the 28th of July. But... don't quote me on these things. My mind is just not working anymore. Tony says, Haugesund reminds me of Fort William. Does it really? I've never been to Fort William, but I was looking at the Caledonian Sleeper. Fort William is in Scotland, isn't it? Please tell me it is. I was looking at the Caledonian Sleeper for another little trip, and I noticed I could go, I think, to Glasgow and change then for Fort William. Is that right? I was wondering about heading up there. What? Anybody got any suggestions or recommendations? Is that somewhere that would be picturesque, something good to see? I don't know. Deborah says open top bus around Haugesund. Okay, do you feel you got to see much? Was there much to actually explore? Would you recommend that? And do you remember how much it was? God, I asked more questions than you lot. Sorry about that. Poetry Cafe. I got the Horror Bus in Haugesund, like Deborah. It was really good. Again, the questions stand. What did you see? How much was it? Ahoy Cruises and Planes. We went to Haugesund, just walked about, but the cinnamon bun and hot chocolate made it. Oh, I wish. Petra says, dates right on both counts, Jamie. Yes, Petra, my darling. I'm just winging it. What luck? 11th of July for the Fjords cruise, 2027, 28th for the Solar Eclipse cruise. Gotcha. Looking forward to both. I get about a week and a half off in between both group cruises to recuperate. My goodness, I needed to recharge my batteries. That lot, they're wild. Absolutely wild. Annie says, oh, hang on, I've missed people. Helen, hi Helen. We went to the Viking village at Haugesund and enjoyed it. Oh, I didn't know there was one. Thank you for sharing that. What about Sandnes? Is that? I don't recognize that. Isn't it? I don't know if that's the place. I haven't been to Sandnes. I'm sure there's another town. If you rearrange your letters, that would be that town. Or am I imagining things? Anybody help out? I haven't been there though. Stuart and Sylvia. I hope you saw your video message from me, Stuart and Sylvia. Check your spam. You should have it. We booked a guided walking tour of Haugesund, and that made a difference to our view of the place. I feel from what you're all saying, you need some sort of walking tour or getting on a ho-ho to see the best of it, perhaps. Hazel, how do excursion prices on Fred Olsen compare to other cruise lines? Well, expensive in northern Norway, but so are other cruise lines. I think generally though, they are, competitive with most cruise lines, less than the American ones for sure. But the thing is, when you go to northern Norway, the price, like husky sledding in the snow in January costs a fortune, but it also does if you book through other cruise lines. I would say competitive. Tony, it is great gateway to surrounding highlands. Are we talking about Fort William there? I imagine we are. Okay, maybe that is somewhere for me to consider. Donna went to Haugesund to see the 4 horses of the apocalypse. Wow, this is news to me. We walked there and it was an absolutely gorgeous, #gorgeous walk. We really enjoyed it actually, but yes, it did involve walking. That's fine. I'm good with that. So it feels like you have to walk away from that port a little bit, yeah, or where the ship is docked. Steph, 3 nights Lapland, December. Does that involve flying? Are we going to be all right with that? I mean, I'm excited for you. That's amazeballs. It's not amaze snowballs. We will have to talk about this at some point. Are you flying? I'm sure you'll be flying. You're not going to be getting a ferry there, are you? Deborah, interesting, not expensive. Can't remember how much exactly. No problem. Thank you for sharing your recommendations about Haugesund. Welsh Wanderer, would love to do the Caledonian Sleepy one day. I mean, I loved it. When I had my little room on board up to Glasgow, I thought it was fabulous. I loved the bar, the lounge area, and also you get to where is it? Is it Euston or something it leaves from? I've forgotten. But I know that if you've got a room, you can access the lounge in Euston before boarding, which was also fabulous fun. I would like to visit Shetland if we ever can. We would love to join one of your group cruises. Are they always to Norway? No. Next July, on the 28th of July 2027, we are heading the Spanish route. We are going to be in Cadiz for 2 days for the solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse. I know there's Gibraltar is also on the cards. It's 2 days in Cadiz. There's La Coruña, Vigo. It's Spain all the way. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've just done an In Search of Northern Lights cruise to northern Norway, and the one in the summer is further south in Norway. Amy, I booked a trip from Haugesund to Langfoss waterfall on my next Norway trip. Went to the Viking village. I see. It feels like there's actually quite a lot to do if you research Haugesund, I feel. Eleanor, Fort William is good for sightseeing in the area. There's a beautiful train to Mallaig. How do you say that? Mallaig? I have no idea. I thought the sleeper went up to Fort William directly. I don't know if it's direct or you have to change at Glasgow. That's the question I have. Certainly the train I took to Glasgow then ended at Glasgow. Um, I don't know whether that then went on to Fort William, but we were all kicked off, that's for sure. Annie, Sandness is on Borealis itinerary to glaciers on the way back. Okay, I'm not familiar with Sandness. I know of a place where you rearrange the S and the A and so on, but not Sandness. Thank you for that. Horo Bus, just £30. It goes past the Viking Centre, and earphones are included to learn about history. With my short attention span, I don't think I would manage that. I've got to be honest with you. Oh, please can you keep with the thumbs up? That would be awesome. There are times when there have been 300 people listening, and there's only 126 thumbs up, which must mean I'm doing a really shoddy job. And there's 182 of you here right now, even after an hour. So get those thumbs up, please. Good for my self-esteem, to be honest with you. Carol, I've been into Hawkston, went to, oh God, you are testing me. Skudenshaven, a pretty little village 40 kilometres away, including beer tasting, coffee and cakes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Red Funky Heart from Leeds, Yorkshire, but living in Turkey for 30 years. You have inspired my daughter and I to take our first cruise ever. You are welcome. I'd like to know where, which cruise line, which ship, where. I want to be nosy with you, but pleased to hear that. I hope you have a great time. Which part of Turkey do you live in, by the way? Poetry. Are children going to be included in your future group cruises? Well, Balmoral is family friendly, so children can go on both of the group cruises I've got booked. There you go. Tony Sleeper used to go all the way to Fort William, but don't know if it still does. Petra 9 stitches over your pronunciation of, well, I don't know how to say it. Tell me. Morlaeg. It's not Morlaeg. Oh, jeez, I don't know. We have 4 thumbs up, but they need to be in the corner of your screen, where you or underneath my name, where you thumbs up the Jamie. But thank you anyway. Christine, I'm coming on the Solar Eclipse group cruise next July. Awesome. Are any eclipse glasses supplied? I don't know. It's so far off. I haven't been given any of that information, but I will absolutely be given that information. I would have thought they will provide them personally, but nearer the time when I get the info, I will let you know. There's a solar eclipse cruise this year as well, so hopefully we'll find out from people sailing on those itineraries. Julie, it decouples and joins from the Edinburgh line on the way down to London. Not sure about on the way back. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Negative, you're thinking of Andelsnes, where the Golden Train visits. I am. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. And I don't know how that's spelled. Pronounced. Andelsnes. That's the one I was thinking of. Malaig. Is that right? Malaig. Is that right? Tony is doing this year's eclipse on Queen Anne. Well, different cruise line, but I'd be interested to know if they hand out glasses to you, Tony. Please do let us all know. Close enough. Malaig. Malaig? I don't know. It's funny, isn't it? Malaig? Malaig? Oh, goodness me. Right. Let's see. We are past the hour mark. I feel I have answered spoke too soon. Carol, have you been on all 3 of the fleet? Yes. I don't have a favourite, actually. They are all beautiful in their own way. I'd say Balmoral is certainly the quirkiest, the smallest and quirkiest of them. But they all have their charm. They all have amazing crew. They all have great food as well. I can certainly attest to that, but I don't have a favourite of the 3. I've loved my cruises on all 3 of them. So you will be well looked after whichever you sail. Welsh Wanderers, you can go direct London to Fort William on Caledonian Sleeper, just checked on website. Oh, is that the case? That's really interesting, because when I took it up there, I'm assuming it goes through Glasgow. We all had to disembark, so that's interesting. Give up while you're ahead. I never give up, ever. Julie says pretty good pronunciation. To Petra and Tony. I tell you what, I'm going to get you speaking Spanish and French, which I speak fluently, by the way, and then I'm going to start laughing at you too. Maybe you can help me with my pronunciation when we see each other next. I will gladly take lessons from you. As I was saying, we have passed the 1 hour mark. I feel like I've answered everybody's questions and read out all your comments. No shout outs, no problem. If you need a shout out, rah, I'm shouting out to y'all, okay? Jules, loved meeting you, Jamie. Hope to see you again soon. I do pop up here, there, and everywhere. You never know where we're going to meet each other. Listen, tomorrow is Tuesday. My trailer is out for the In Search of Northern Lights cruise. I hope you enjoy it. It fills me with joy when I watch that back. I'm very happy with the trailer. Wednesday is the first of the vlogs from Fred Olsen, starting with a cabin tour. Saturday is the first experiential vlog. I'm hoping I can get it down to under an hour. I'm trying my best. So I hope you enjoy all those. I also hope to see you the same time next week. I'm not off on my travels until next Tuesday or Wednesday, so it'll be lovely to chew the cruise and travel fact with you then. For now, thank you so much for your company this evening. You were, as always, bloody handsome. I love... Who do I love tonight? All of you up there. All of you down there in the middle. Down there in the middle? Along the middle. Yeah, you okay? Love you. You. I don't love you because you still smell. You haven't got your fringe and you need some new socks. Good night. Sorry, I've got to finger the screen. Love to you all. Take